Hello and welcome to my very first YouTube video, well gameplay video even. My name is iStar. I've been, well I should say a little bit about myself. I've been playing games since I was 8 years old. I'm currently 26 and the recording this video. And I've been quite interested in doing things like recording and streaming and stuff. And I thought I'll give it a go with this game, considering I do enjoy playing this. This is Path of Exile. It's a ARPG, action role-playing game, developed by a New Zealand studio called Grinding Gear Games. It is a free-to-play game. You can go and download it straight from the website. It's not a pay-to-win game at all. The only stuff they charge for are cosmetics, so things like special weapon effects or special armor effects or pets, or even things for your account like increasing the amount of stash tabs you've got, or even being able to like rename them or change the color of them, things like that. It's currently in open beta. It's been open beta for a while now. Currently on patch 11.11 even. It's 0.11. So let's get to it. Now I'm not going to be playing any normal playthrough. This is going to be a kind of a special one. I thought it would be quite an interesting one to watch. Now Path of Exile is split into leagues, which you might as well just think of them as game modes. There are currently 4. 2 of them are just normal modes and 2 of them are challenge modes. Now I'll show you here on the leagues. There they are. So you've got your standard mode, just standard, ordinary, plain old Path of Exile. You have hardcore, which is the same, but if your character dies, your character is turned back to is returned to the standard league. Now, in most other ARPGs, usually if you play a hardcore character, if it dies, it's dead forever. But not in this game. It's just converted to a standard league. Now, in my eyes, I think they're dead anyway, so I delete them. I don't keep them. I get rid of them. But they just recently added in the recent patch, one they released the other day, these challenge leagues. 2 of them. One is a softcore mode, and the other one is a hardcore mode. This one is Anarchy's the softcore one, and basically you will find rogue exiles around the world. They can be randomly found. I haven't actually come across them yet, so I'm not exactly sure what they're like. You know, I think I'm going to assume they're going to become some kind of sort of mini boss, possibly quite hard to kill. But if you die on this mode, it doesn't matter. You just continue playing. Onslaught is a hardcore mode, and now monsters on this mode have increased movement, attack, and cast speed, which basically means they can move faster and they can attack and cast spells at you quicker. And also, obviously, if your character dies, the character will be converted over to standard league. It will come into this mode. It won't be going to Anarchy. It will become a standard character. So if you want to continue doing Onslaught, you're going to have to create a new character and come back on Onslaught mode and continue playing. Now, the league runs for just 3 months. It runs from June 8th to October 8th. There's 8 challenges to be done within the game. If you complete all 8 of them within by the end of the challenge league, you will receive an exclusive T-shirt, which I thought was quite a nifty thing to do. On these challenge leagues also add new item types, recipes, and unique items. But there are some stuff that is disabled from these leagues. I'm not sure exactly what, so I'm not extremely savvy with this game. You know, I haven't gone to the ins and outs of it. I just know how to basically play it, basically. So we're going to get stuck in and play an Onslaught mode. If you'd like me to play any other mode, do ask, and I may do it. Now, there are 6 characters in the game, based around the 3 stats that are in the game. There's strength, dex, and intelligence. Now, you've got 3 which are pure stat, and then you've got 3 hybrids. And remember, by pure, they solely rely on that one particular stat. So I won't pull him out because they have a lengthy talk, but over here you have the Marauder set at the back here. He is a pure strength character. Next to him you have the Ranger, who is a pure dexterity character, and then over here on the far right is the Witch, who is a pure intelligence character. And then you have your 3 hybrids, the ones that they use 2 stats Well, they rely on 2 stats, but they're not exceptional at those ones. They're okay in both. But it still doesn't mean they're not. Doesn't mean they're not any good. They're still very good in their own rights. It's just they can do a bit more than say a purebred like the Marauder. So you have the Templar, who relies on strength and sorry, not Marauder, the Templar even, who uses strength and intelligence. Shadow, I believe, is dexterity and intelligence. Yes, and the Duelist, which is strength and dexterity. Now the class I'm going to be playing is the Witch.
They were right to fear me. If only they had listened to their cowardice. Had they not taken my home with fire, I would not have taken their children. Now I'm banished to Rayclast. I've heard the dark rumors, seen the terror in the other exiles' eyes. But to me, one land is like any other. The elements are my allies, the dead are my servants, and fear will be my closest friend.
So as you can see, I've already typed in a name. It's one I've used for this character a few times. It's Stackash. So press enter. And it's just a little warning to let you know that if you play a hard character, it dies, it gets transferred back to standard. That's fine.
They were right to fear
now
me.
it's
only
the
they
server
had
now. It has
listened
a
to
few
their
times
cowardice.
has booted me.
Had they not
whenever I've
taken
created
my
a
home
character. I
with
don't know
fire,
why.
I would not have taken their children.
If it might time
Now
out,
I'm banished to
so it might
Rayclast.
just log me out.
I've heard
I
the
think it's a
dark
bit of a bug.
rumors, seen the terror in the other exiles' eyes.
So
But
let's
to
hope.
me,
Yep. So it's
one land is
booted.
like any other.
Because what it's doing, it's trying to read to see. I was going to have to recreate.
They were right to fear me. If only they had listened to their cowardice. Had they not taken my home with fire,
There we
I
go.
would not have
Did you
taken
go a
their
second time?
children.
Right then. So I've washed up on a beach. There's an item on the floor for me, a driftwood wand. I do tend to mince my words. And there's a die next, so let's speak to him.
We're all made it. They dumped 24 of us exiles off that ship. Guess that makes us the lucky ones. Luckier than this poor bastard beside me, at any rate. Splinter sticking out of me? Missed all the important ones. I saw smoke at those ruins up the beach. Go get some help. And on my chest...
Oh god. What did you do to him? Alright, so
The
now
dead will
he's
soon
just...
rise for me, not against me.
So he's just dropped a fireball. Now this is a skill gem. This is basically where you get your spells and skills from. They can be bought, found, or even be given as quest rewards. So we're going to insert this into the weapon. That's how you use them. You insert them into equipment. Now, because it's a blue one, that's a magic or intelligence-based skill. There's 2 others as well. There's the green one, which is dex-based, and then strength, which are the red ones. And obviously, you put them into the correct colored slots. So we'll put this one in here. So now we have a fireball spell, which we can go at now and find some more creatures to burn, hopefully. Oh yeah, and it does have a little bit of splash damage on them when using fireball, but only a little bit. And they have to be pretty damn close to each other. Oh yes, you need to move that back over.
I need more mana.
Let's just use my mana potion. Well, say used it, drunk a bit of it. Now, mana, well, even all potions in Path of Exile work a bit different to most other ARPGs. Most others, you have a stack of them, say 20, 30 of them. You press a key, you drink it, all of it, and that's used. Not in this game, they're different. You basically, you get a large flask, or whatever size it is, and when you press the button you want to use it, you sip some of it out. Basically, it's like having a bottle of drink and you take a swig out of it. And that will restore you for the amount of health or mana. So, for example, this small life flask recovers 60 life over 6 seconds. So, 1 swig will recover 60 life, obviously, over the space of 6 seconds. Now, all flasks come in different types. They can have different amounts of charges in them. Basically, how many times you can use it before it's empty, but they also use different amounts. So, for example, these ones contain 21 charges, but they consume 7 each time. So I think that's what, 3 that you can do. My mouse is pretty shoddy. Before it becomes empty, they can be refilled in one of two ways: through either killing monsters, it's usually after you killed so many, and also if you are in a friendly town, like a hub, they're instantly refilled. Which is kind of a good tactic if you're in the middle of a boss fight. You can use a portal scroll, teleport back to town, instantly fill your class back up, and go back through the portal back to where you was. So, now if you're seeing all this text on the left hand side, that is the trade chats that you're seeing there. If you're thinking it's a little annoying to see on the screen, do let me know, and I will, if I do future episodes, which I hope I do, I will turn it off while doing these videos. So, okay, so you just dropped a glass shank, which I believe is a type of dagger. And the good thing is you can mouse over the items before you pick them up, and you know exactly what it is, or what it does. So I'm going to pick up these iron greaves, just for some feet protection. No, not driftwood club. So I do kind of know what I'm doing. I've played quite a bit of this game, put quite a few hours into it, so I'm not amazing it though. But hopefully I can get better. It's probably a silly idea for me actually playing in this mode. I'm not very good.
And I thought I'd be a dead woman by now.
Okay, so just leveled up. I'm now level 2. Right, so let's find a safe spot, because while having any screens open, the game does not pause. So we'll stand over it, nice and we're safe. Okay, now might have to explain this. This is not any ordinary skill tree. Oh no, it's humongous. As you can see, you have to zoom out loads to see most of it. Now this is a passive skill tree. It's a passive skill tree. There's no active skills like you put in a point and you get a special skill or anything, or like like fireball, for example. These are passive, so they're things that can improve your character at all times. So things that can make them have more health, more armor, regenerate health quicker, resistant to certain elements, things like that. And that's what really builds your character, plus obviously the skills you use, which you get from skill gems. Now, every class uses the exact same skill tree. They look exactly the same no matter which class you play, but they start at different points on this roadmap, if you may want to call it. And now this is the witch starting area up here, and the others are around here. You see these little sort of symbols. These are the other classes' starting points, the other 5. And the great thing about Path of Exile is you can pretty much create any character you really want. You can have a, I don't know, a two-handed sword wielding witch if you want to, or run around with a bow, or maybe be really good dodging attacks, things like that. You know, you can build with pretty much any character you want. I mean, the skill points that you put into around here will be specifically kind of designed for the character that it's meant for, so you know there's going to be lots of spell stuff, but you can branch out and head over into other areas. You know, like down here, these are all sort of dex based skills. You can usually tell by the colours of them. Maybe over here there's a little bit of spell, a little bit of a little bit of intelligence, a little bit of strength ones. I think this is the Templar starting area. You can usually tell by looking at them. I think this is the Marauders down here. I think that's red and green, which is the Duelist. That's pure green, so that must be the Archer. This one here has to be the Shadow, and obviously it's the Witch there, and I said that was Templar. So I'm going to go ahead and put my point in now. I said I kind of got an idea of where I'm going to be putting my points to. People do like, they have different ways of how they use this. They go maybe, oh, I'm going to head for a specific special keystone. Keystones are these special passives up here, usually on the outer rims of the map. And they usually got this gold rim around them. But they can majorly affect your character in many ways. I don't generally tend to head for any of them at all. I just head for basic stuff that improves my character. Some people will go for things like, oh yeah, I want... quite an Eldritch Battery, which that's actually quite useful. Which basically what it does is it converts all energy shield to mana. So that would be good for probably not the witch, probably maybe for others. I wouldn't use it on the witch, to be honest. I would use it on other classes that maybe have a little bit of energy shield for some reason, but they don't need it, but they do need the mana. So that will basically, whatever energy shield you have, if I have any shield, will instead of be shield will be mana, which is quite good. They usually do massively change the way the character plays. Chaos Inoculation is 1, maximum life becomes 1, but you become immune to chaos damage. So your maximum health will become to 1. You will have 1 health, no matter what else you put into it. Into your character, you can add maximum, increase your maximum health by 1,000,000 points if you want to, and it'll still be 1. It'll be a waste. But it has got a point to use. Chaos damage is basically poison. It's basically poison damage, so it's like DOT, which is damage over time. Now this is obviously only really useful for characters with shields, but to use that, I would say you need masses and masses of shield, and just hope it never drops, because if you do, you're dead. But a lot of people do use Chaos Inoculation. But as I said, I don't head for any of it. Most of these keystones have an upside and then a flip side, which is bad. Like that one obviously gives you 1 health. And that one, obviously, you will have no shield, but you have more mana. Some of them don't. I mean, Whispers of Doom, enemies can have 1 additional curse. There's no downside to it. Hexmaster, curses you cast never expire. That's pretty useful if you use curses. There you go, Zealot's Oath. Now that might be useful for me. I might use that, which is life regeneration applies to energy shield instead of life. So my shields will regenerate a lot faster than rather than my health, but health can also be regenerated using potions. Anyway, I'm going to stop messing and gabbing. I'm going to get into it, and now I'm going to put my point into spell damage to increase my spell damage 10% by putting that in. Apply. And then we shall go back. I do apologise if I went on for too lengthy. Just sort of, it is something that needs to be explained, especially to those who are new to this, just scouting out to see what you think of the game maybe. So now my spells should do 10% extra damage. Oh, a nice little group of them over here. They're just holding the pool, they're going for a swim.
I need more mana.
Now Driftwood 1, now that's what I use. Oh, that could be good because it actually increases the amount of spell damage I do as well. That's what ones do, generally. So we're going to take gem out of that one. Put it in that one. Throw that away. Oh, now this is a blacksmith's whetstone. It's like a special item. This is actually a currency item. And basically what it does is it increases the quality of the weapon it's applied to. It will apply it in different percentages based on the rarity of the item. And I believe on white it's 5%. Yes, 5%. I think on blues it's like 2%, and on yellows it's 1%. And basically what it does, the quality basically improves the damage it does. That's what I believe it does anyway. So some of my facts could be completely wrong. Please do correct me. So, okay, I just did that quickly, but my fireball spell just leveled up. All skills, when equipped into your equipment, will gain XP, regardless of whether you use them or not. So as long as they're plugged into a socket, they will gain XP. Once it's ready to level up, you press the button and the spell becomes stronger, like it is now. It now does 6 to 10 fire damage. It does obviously use more mana then. Now, one thing that some people probably might have done, and it's quite a newbie's mistake, is to go, right, I've got all these skill gems, I've got lots of empty sockets, how about I take them out with me, socket them in and level them all up, so I've got really strong spells. well, that's not a very good idea. Especially if you start off with newer characters, and what if, say, you want to use that particular spell, but it's too high level? Because every skill gem has requirements, level and stat. Obviously, based on the type of item it is. So obviously, Fireball, now at its current state, requires level 2. Now it does require a certain amount of intelligence as well, but it's not stated there because I already meet the expectations of it, the requirements. So it won't show that. If it doesn't, then it will be shown and it will be in red. So that's best to only keep the gems inserted, the ones that you are actually going to use. Oh, now this is Hillock. He's a big, brutish zombie who wants to only kill me and stop me from reaching the town. And what? He just pulled a sword out of his belly. Oh, he's on fire. Let's move over here. Got to keep an eye on my health. I don't want to die now. That would be really stupid. Hey, killed him. Right, see if he's got anything useful, any goodies. Oh, he's got a vine circlet. Now, I'm after gear for, because I'm playing a int-based character, intelligence-based character. We should stop saying int. It's best that I use, well, me personally, I think I should use gear that's designed for the type of class you're playing. Now, most games have, when you pick up like a piece of armor, it will be armor. But that doesn't really apply to this game. This game's different, like most other things it does. There are different types of armor. It comes in 3 different sort of varieties, like base varieties. You've got energy shield, which is what you see there, which gives you an energy shield, which gives you shield. Armor, which obviously gives you protection against physical attacks. And then you've got evasion rating, which obviously makes you more likely to dodge attacks. So basically, energy shield should be used for characters that are intelligence based. The armor for strength based, and evasion for dexterity based. Now there are hybrid, again, type items you probably might come across. Maybe a shield or something that has maybe armor and energy shield on it. You will get stuff like that, and those are usually designed for obviously the hybrid characters, ones that maybe are strength and intelligence, which will obviously be the Templar, if I believe correctly. Okay, so we're going to pick that up, and now it's a blue quality, which means it's a magic quality. It's above white. White is the lowest quality, blue is above that, then it's yellow, which is rare, and then you have orange, which is legendaries, uniques. Now, I'll have the temple robe as well, because again that's got energy shield armor. Now these are unidentified, which means we need to identify what they are. So you use a scroll of wisdom, so you right click it and left click on the item, and this is a simple robe of the pupil. So it will give me 11 energy shield, and it will increase my intelligence by 11. Now, increasing certain stats will give you increased other things. Like for me, because I'm obviously an intelligence-based character, I gain +1 mana, maximum mana, for every 2 intelligence I have, and I also gain +1% to my energy shield for every 5 intelligence I have. If you have any strength, you get +1 life for every 2 strength you have, and you gain +1% to melee physical damage for every 5 strength you have, which is obviously useful for characters who use melee weapons. And dexterity gives you, for every 1 dexterity you have, you gain +2 to your accuracy, for obviously chance to hit enemies, and 5 dexterity, every 5 dexterity you have, you increase your evasion rating by 1%, your evasion chance. This is a character screen. This gives you basically a sort of lowdown on your character, tells you where you are, your level, your life, your mana, your stats, and you can also look at your other statistics, things to do with like your damage, and you can check it per skill. So I can look at, see how good my fireball is. You can see that it has a 6% chance to cause critical damage, and it will do 150% damage if it does a critical hit. And you can check other things as well. It's really useful, and you can, so you can check it out based per different stat. That's your default attack, obviously. Right, so we'll close that window. So let's have a look at this circlet. So this is a healthy vine circlet of the newt, which has 7 energy shield, +15 to my maximum health. That's useful, and I get 1.7 life regenerated per second. so that can save me a deal on using health potions, because it has happened a few times where I've basically rinsed my potions empty because I've drunk them so quick because of like being in big fights and I keep losing lots of health. So here we go, we're now entering the Lion's Eyes Watch. This is the hub town for Act 1. Now, you can't see anyone here at the moment, but there is actually other players that will appear around here. You can party up with other players if you want to, in groups, and you go into your own instance. And this is like, so the only area you will like see other players outside of a party. There you go, there's one player there. So these people have quests for me, so let's go and speak to them.
I saw what you did to Hillock out there, witch. Your black art is the reason you're here in exile. It may also be the only thing that allows you to see another dawn. I'm Nessa, and I suppose I should thank you for ridding us of that putrid giant. Back in Oriath, I judged your kind without hesitation. In Rayclast, I don't have that luxury. Blind Eye's Watch isn't much, but it's ours. We could use you here, while you live. But should you wish to venture out, do just one thing for me. Out on the coast, amongst the wrecks, there must be a ship's medicine chest. I have many to care for, and there's only so much I can do with herbs and seawater.
Now it's good there's actually voice acting in this, because I played this when it's a closed beta and there wasn't even any voice acting at all. So it's good to hear it. They eventually will have voice for every character if they haven't done so already. Let's speak to Vestal.
A wayfish, waterlogged witch, washed up in raid claws. That's the first line of the poem I'm writing about you, Exile. Easy go. You could scorch a bloke with a look like that. The name's Vestal, captain of the good ship Merry Gull. At last, my Merry Gull is gone. My crew is gone. But my wits remain, after a fashion. There's an island, a hop, skip and a wade offshore of the terraces. That's where my Merry Gull ran aground. Watched the locals spit roast the ship's doctor, but his medicine chest might still be there, amongst the splinters and bones. It'd have everything Nessa might need. Dr. Shaky Hands Opton was lousy with a scalpel and even worse with a saw, but he knew his apothecary. Explains the shaky hands, if you ask me.
Great, so now we got to go and get a medicine chest. So there's a shipwreck somewhere, and we have to go and get the medicine chest. Now this is the stash. Now you can see I've got two stashes tabs with names on them and they're different coloured. That's because on my account I actually bought the premium stashes. So you, as on the standard normal account anyway, you'll get four stash tabs, and they're huge. They're very big. You can store lots of stuff in these. But you can buy extra tabs. You can buy lots more tabs. But I've upgraded them to premium tabs, which allows you to name them, or basically customize them. So you can name them, and you can also change the colour of the borders on them, which is good. So I've got this one dedicated to skill gems. This is where I store my gems for skills, obviously. This one's for currency items, and these are all those different, as I said, currency items you can get. This is an Orb of Regret. There's no money in this. There's no gold, no coppers or silvers or anything like that. Everything is traded using these skill gems, currency items, and they come in very different flavors. And they do have uses. You know, you can use them for certain things. Like I said, this Orb of Regret grants a passive skill refund point, which basically, if I was to consume it now, I could refund a skill point. So I could basically remove one of my skills I used in my skill tree. I say, oh, I didn't want to go that way. I don't want that anymore. I can remove it, and that's what it lets me do. This one is a chromatic orb, which reforges the color of sockets on an item. So if I right-click that on, say I wanted this socket on here to be a different color, I don't want it to be red. I could use that on that and hope that it will, because it's random. It might turn it back. It might turn it green. It might turn it blue. Who knows? And you know, hopefully I could make it blue if I wanted it blue, and that's what it can be useful. But you can trade them. You can use them as a currency and trade them for items or other currency items. And obviously these other stashes are empty at the moment, but I will find a use for those eventually. It's empty, rather empty than my stash tabs, because when in each league, as I said, each league has their own separate stashes, so you can't trade items from one league to another, which is a good thing really, so you can't twink your characters. It's nice to start fresh. Speak to him.
Fine work with Hillock. Where'd you learn to fight like that? No, don't tell me. We exiles have no history. Dominus took it from us the moment his blackguards dumped us in the water out there. Just live or die now. Here, have one of these. And no need to thank me. I'm thinking of myself and the others here. The longer we fighters live, the longer everyone lives.
Okay, so this is, I've been given a quest reward, and I get to choose between one of these 3 skill gems. Now, as you notice, each skill gem has a little different art in them, so it's kind of easy to distinguish them from others. Before, back in closed beta, they used to be all just these blue gems, and you had to mouse over every one to see what one they were. But now you can go, oh yeah, that's mouse over and go, that's raise something. Have we got any others the same? So we've got Spark, Freezing Pulse, and Raise Zombie. Now, I don't want to be a Necromancer, but I could always take it anyway and store it for later use for some other reason. Spark, now I don't really like that because it launches unpredictable spark, so they just go everywhere, which can be kind of cool, but I like my attacks to be rather direct. So we'll take Freezing Pulse. So that quest is complete. This is your world map. This shows you where you are in the world. This is Act 1. This is my quest I've completed. The ones on this side are quests that are active. And that's what that question, exclamation mark keeps popping up at the bottom of the screen is. Now this is a notice board here. This lets you find or even create parties. You can also check your friends list. Create a party of people, and people can just join you. And these are all ones that are already running right now. So I can easily just join one of these. These have got all like different sort of like item allocations, the way that how you get your items. But I don't really like to play solo. Oh, you might have noticed here, I've got a little thing. It says stream on Twitch at twitch.tv. It's /ice_star87. I do hope to do things like that. That's why I'm doing these YouTube videos first, because I'm hoping to get noticed a little bit on YouTube first, and then hopefully people recognise me, and then I can start maybe streaming on Twitch and maybe get a bit more of an audience. So we'll close that for now. Right, so we'll end that episode here for now. We've made it to this town. Hit favourite and like this video if you like. It would be great to get some subscribers. And any comments, post them below. And I shall hope to see you all again soon. So this is iStar, signing off.